Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. I'm your host, Sean Ellis. And tonight, before we get into the show with Phantasm Paranormal, I'd like to bring on a couple people here real quick because we're going to have a team up in a location, but I'm going to let them announce it here. So here we go. Nick and Leah from Phantom Pals. Hey,
Hi.
guys.
Hi.
Hey there.
So, the announcement. Do you want to make the announcement, Leah?
You booked it.
Sure. I did. I have decided I wanted to check out a bucket list item of mine, location of mine, and about a year ago, jumped on and booked for a very special night. And recently said, I think we should have Sean join us since he joined us on another investigation and we had a great time. So I thought it would be awesome to have Sean join us and do a little team up.
Yep. And it's going to happen in the next few weeks. We're not going to exactly announce the date, guys, but keep an eye out for when we go live. But here's where we're going to be. The location. Melvern Manor.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Phantom Pals and Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal will be teaming up to have a live investigation in the next 3 weeks of Melvern Manor. So definitely stay tuned. Keep an eye out, and we will go live the night we were there. So looking forward to it, guys.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So, all right.
Right.
I will talk with you guys later, and thanks for coming on. And
Yeah, no problem.
have a great night, guys.
All right.
All right,
Thank
too.
you.
Have a
Good
good
night.
show.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, we're definitely going to team up with those guys. The last time it was at the Keithsburg Masonic Lodge, and we had a great time. But tonight, we've got a great team that I actually got to meet when I was at Broadhead Manor. Phantasm Paranormal. We've got Aaron and Ann backstage here, so let's invite them on. Here we go. Here's
Hello.
Aaron, and here's Ann.
Hi, guys.
How you guys doing?
I'm well. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. It's kind of a nice night out for a change. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Been a pretty good day.
Good night for spooky season.
Yeah. I heard you guys just got back from an investigation last night, right?
We did.
Did you guys get a lot of stuff from there?
So we were at an undisclosed location last night. It has never been investigated before. So it was definitely interesting. We knew the history of the building. The building dates back to I believe 1899 it was built. So quite a lot of history in it. And it, like I said, had never been investigated before. So it was interesting to see what the spirits did with the new technology.
That's cool. I'm glad we've got a little backlash going on. Somebody must have an extra phone going on or something. Tiffany Conley is in the house. Hello, Tiff.
Tiff is a good friend of ours.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine as well. She's from Eternal Paranormal. Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you come up with Phantom Paranormal?
Phantasm
Paranormal?
Yeah, everybody thinks it's because of the movie, but it kind of is, but it's not quite. It's more the meaning of it. A ghost, a specter, a wraith. So it's kind of what we picked for it. But yeah, everybody thinks it's because of the movie from the 70s, which it's not, but it definitely matches with that.
So what got you to form the team? What got you into the paranormal itself, since you are a co-founder?
The other co-founder. We have our brothers on the team, so his brother brought him on.
So did you guys have any experiences when you were younger?
For sure. We grew up in a poltergeist house, so
that's where that all started. And 15 years later, he decides, hey, let's try this again. I'm like, I don't know. Well, he wins.
You said he's the older one, right?
No, I'm the older one.
Ah, so yeah, that's interesting. Got to run. I'm at work. So thanks for stopping in, Tiff.
See you, Tiff.
Yeah. So what actually set out in your mind to actually form the team, you two?
Well, I don't know. It just all kind of fell into place. Like we had gone on investigations with people and it was okay, but then we started to buy equipment and then we came up with a name and next thing you know there's t-shirts and next thing you know we're buying a trailer and we're on the road and here we are today.
When it first started, it was a group of guys that all worked in a factory together that said, hey, this might be fun. So it was just a group of friends getting together and hanging out and doing some investigating. It wasn't officially in a team until a little bit later. But yeah, it was just, let's try this. Sounds like fun.
So, Ann, was you part of the factory worker, or did you get brought in from another angle?
Nope. I actually joined about 2.5 years ago. So I'm still one of the newer ones on the team. But yeah.
So, what brought you to the team? Did you have experiences prior to the team?
I really didn't. My house growing up, I know there's something there, but I never experienced anything. I just shut myself off to it. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with anything paranormal. So I didn't get into it. My family did tours with the public, like through other teams when they had things going on. But I'm like, nope, not my thing, not going to happen. And then I went through a divorce and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go completely left field and figure out who I am and do something that's always scared me. And that's when I met Aaron and the team. And they were like, well, we actually have an opening at a location for an investigation next month. Would you like to join? And I'm like, I had just worked in corrections for 12 years. Like, meet people I don't know in an abandoned building. Kind of sounds like a horror movie right there. But I'm like, sure. And I never left.
I've actually met up with teams for the first time on an investigation before that I've got invited to. It makes things interesting, for the first time, seeing how they investigate and then how I investigate and then kind of merging together to see what you come up with. But yeah, it's definitely fun teaming up all the time.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. So left field. Aaron, what was the first location you guys ever had an investigation on?
Another guy at work had an old farmhouse and we had actually got to go to his house and investigate that all night. That was my first one. I got to the second one. The first one was actually the Sheboygan Asylum. They all went to that first, and I went to the second one.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Sheboygan Asylum. Did you get a lot of EVPs or stuff from there as well?
A lot of shadow figures, a lot of really actually good activity, even for the limited amount of equipment that we had when we first started out. It was actually really good.
That's cool. What was your first experience with the team, man?
My first investigation was at Jericho Haunted Trinity, Jericho, Wisconsin. It's right outside Fond du Lac in that area. And it is a church, a convent, and a school. So it's 3 buildings at that location. That was my first official investigation.
Interesting. So evidently what was there never scared you too bad because you're still part of the team now, right?
Right.
There's some of your Tiffany popping up again.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting because I had watched the shows at home. I'd watched Ghost Hunters, I'd seen all of those, but I wasn't really into it. So to actually be there and have Aaron be like, here's an SLS, then plop it in my hand and be like, okay, well, I've only seen these before. So tell me how it works. You know, what is the science behind this? What am I looking at? It was really interesting to kind of see that point of view actually firsthand and to experience it that way.
Cool. That's it. That's cool. I'm glad that that you were able to find somebody that you could mesh in with and team up with and teach you how to use the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I do with my younger teammates and my rookie teammates is I'll teach them how to use the equipment that we do have and also their abilities that they have as well. Leads me to a question here. Do you guys do anything special before you go on an investigation, like grounding yourself or anything like that? And what do you do?
We eat.
You eat.
We always go out to eat, kind of have a long meet and greet, even on our events and stuff like that. We always meet up, eat, kind of discuss it, and then go out to the location.
For us, it's more of the team bonding experience and knowing that we all have each other's back. And we know each other so well that if something is out of the ordinary, one of us is going to pick it up and be like, nope, we need to get you out of here. We need Paulo. We got to figure out what is on you and get this off of you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of the most important besides we have some people that wear crystals and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just we know each other and we have each other's back.
So you don't do anything special before you go in or like that
No.
to ground yourself. Mm-hmm. And you guys don't use crystals? Or you guys, none of the team members use crystals by any chance?
On occasion, sometimes they will. But we don't. And I don't.
Yeah, it's nothing that we are for or against personally. It's just a personal preference. You know, whatever makes you feel better about being in that location, go for it. Do it.
Right.
If wearing a bracelet of something makes you feel protected, absolutely, go for it.
And it also helps prove or disprove the activity level that you get if you have crystals or such or don't. So it's kind of nice to be able to judge the activity to see if that actually is a factor.
True. Do you guys use Tesla coils by chance?
No, we don't.
Because I've got it like a mini Tesla coil, and when things are kind of slow, I always plug it in if we got electricity there, and we amp up the energy there to see what happens. Mm-hmm. That's when it's really real. If it's something that's really got high energy there, we will never plug in a Tesla coil there because we don't want to give it more energy than what it has. But those are always good to have on hand to kind of pump up the area with a little bit and stuff.
Yeah, we never really got into the Teslas. Somebody who ran with us for a little bit, he did Tesla coils, so we've been around when they were used. But, we have a couple EM pumps that we'll use that over a Tesla on the team personally. So, yeah, we try that.
Have you ever been to a location where you walked in and you can't breathe, like that heavy, deep feeling? And if so, what did you guys do when you experienced that?
We have had that. Usually we'll just walk outside, see if it subsides. We also have a couple of specialized team members too, so if there's anything more than what we're usually equipped to handle, they kind of take over with that too. Like we have a demonologist, so if anything does get too overwhelming, we have people to help.
Do you have any empaths or clairvoyants or etc. on the team?
A lot of gifted people, yeah. I mean, right now we're at 6, sometimes 8, sometimes 10, but it's the quality of the people that we have. It's like a big family, and everybody's got different abilities, which
Mhm.
has been very, very extremely helpful.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's what is helpful with the team. We don't have open applications. It's not like we, in November, okay, if you want to join the team, submit an application. We don't do anything like that. We believe that the right people are going to come to us. You can teach anyone how to investigate, but
mhm,
it's how to teach them how to be a good person. You can't do that.
that's
So
true.
it's all about, are you going to fit in with us? Are you a good person? Are you not going to provoke? That kind of thing. That's more important. But we have found that a lot of people that find us do have some kind of ability, whether it's they're dabbling in mediumship or they're empaths or, whatever they're working with.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I've got a couple clairvoyants and empaths on my team, counting myself, and we work together really well when it comes to doing stuff like that. And we try to get together on occasion and do some energy work together as well, because that does help
Mhm.
when we do that. One of the most haunted locations that you've been at, can you disclose that and tell us what you found there?
Indiana State Sanatorium.
What
Yeah.
did you find there?
Uh, a lot more than I expected, and a lot more than I bargained for.
Yeah, we did a trip to Trans-Allegheny, and then on the way back, we stopped at Indiana State. So it was a double for us this past August. And it
So,
was the first time at Indiana for quite a few people on the team. And it was one of those where you didn't even need equipment. It was just the feels. You could communicate without even having anything more than an ovulus. It was just crazy the amount of activity.
yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list as well
Mhm.
for Indiana. I have a friend, Miss Pam Harris from Serene Divine. She lives over in that area. And we actually went to Bell Mansion in Ohio. And that was very interesting. If you ever get a chance to go there, that's a place you need to check out because it's like 5 levels and everything's got a little bit of activity on it as well. We actually got to play cards and with the spirits in one of the rooms. We sent a REM pod up in the middle between us, and a light was flashing at each one of us. The way it was, we set the REM pod, and we'd ask the spirits who was going to win, and that REM pod would light that light up on who was going to win every time when we were playing. And I was like, man, I got a good hand, and nope, somebody else had it, and they were right. It was very interesting that night.
Yeah. I think for me, my favorite location has got to be Trans-Allegheny. I don't know. There's something that just draws me back to that place all the time. Like I just feel at home when I'm there. I don't know. It's just a weird feeling.
Yeah, we have 2 trips into that one already, and we're already probably going to book 2027 for a third for trans.
Mhm.
It is a gorgeous location,
Yeah.
but it is hard to run to West Virginia every year too,
Right.
especially from Wisconsin. So it's definitely a trip, but it's worth it.
So, is that the farthest you guys have been? Is Virginia, or where's the farthest location you guys have went to?
That one is the furthest so far, but
Mhm.
the more we travel, the less it gets to be a problem.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's kind of like we like to schedule one big trip a year. So that's kind of where we go the farthest, and that's been the farthest that we've gone so far.
So, do you guys actually vote on it, or draw straws, or what do you guys do to make the final decision with that with everybody on the team?
It gets brought up, and then all the members have a chance to put in if they want to, if it fits in with the schedule, and we really do go through every aspect we can. Like, where do we want to stay? Do we want to add something to it? But yeah, every member gets gets their say in
Thank
it
you.
too.
Hello, Laura. Rawside Paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah, we never wanted to be, oh, the founders are going to determine what we do all year long. So if somebody has a bucket list location, we're going to do whatever we can to accommodate everybody on the team and make sure we all get to the places that we want to go to.
That's cool. I've got a list of stuff that I'd like to go to. One is like I said, I don't think I'll ever get there. It'd be Dracula's castle overseas, but I don't think I'll ever get there. But that would definitely be on my bucket list for sure. Got another one popping in here. It says Lisa says hubby and I are moonlighting paranormal in Marion, Ohio, but we're not an official team. We just go to various places, if that makes sense. Yep. You're not far from Pam. She's down in that area somewhere. But yeah. Yeah, that's cool that you guys kind of sit there and decide and come together to where you're going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For us, this team is a family. So we treat each other as family.
That's awesome. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be able to get along with your teammates and be able to make decisions together and go to where you're going and stuff. Lorraine Warren is my idol. I actually got to see Annabelle a couple weeks ago. So that, yeah, I went down there to see her with one of my teammates. We seen Annabelle and the show Annabelle as well, along with some of the stuff from the Warren Museum.
Did you get any feelings around Annabelle? Did you feel anything?
I got more off the objects around it that they brought, because there was the thing called the Devil's Sword that was there. And I actually got a lot of energy off that. And they had a mask there out of a baboon, like a shrunken head, that actually had a lot of energy. They used them in rituals as well. But for me, I've got what they call the Menaki rights, and that was given to me by my Reiki master. And I can walk into a room and the energy doesn't feel so overwhelming to me like it does when some other people walk into a room and you got that you can't breathe feeling. It doesn't affect me like that very much. But I was sitting there watching the people around when I was going into the room where Annabelle was. And you can tell people was kind of getting anxious and a little overwhelmed when they got next to her. So there's a little bit of something there for sure. Let's see here. Lorraine Warren. We just do it because we have buried location. Let's see. I thought obsessed with Annabelle. I've seen several haunted dolls. Let's see. Try to get everybody in here. Reiki has saved my life with my health. Yeah, Reiki does help out a lot. It does. I actually do a lot of energy work and with some people, and it helps them a lot. It does do wonders. Mm-hmm. Do you have anybody on your team that does Reiki?
We don't. That would be a great tool, though.
Yeah, Reiki comes in really handy when you're out on investigations. Mm-hmm. And for sure, I definitely like having at least a couple people or somebody besides me knows a little bit about it when we're out in the field. Mm-hmm. You mentioned when you're on locations and some of your teammates were kind of getting overwhelmed, you walked them out and tried to figure out what's with them. Do you think they got attachments or starting to get attachments when they were there? Or it's just that maybe their empathic ability is they feel what's in there more than you guys do?
For sure. That's kind of like an all of the above. Because for me, I'm an empath healer. Anna's actually empath medium. So with all of us having the different...
Hello, Ravenwolf.
Hi, Raven.
Different types of abilities, you kind of get... Like one person could just be like, oh, it's really heavy in here. The next person could be like, oh, wow, it's, 16 feet tall. It's standing in a corner and it's staring right at you. I mean, everybody gets something different out of it. So it is kind of nice to take a break, walk outside, kind of just go back at it and see what everybody saw or heard, or just kind of pull all the abilities together to try to figure out what it was that caused it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of knowing your team too. Like, especially for Aaron, he really watches everybody on the team. Being the founder, he wants to make sure everyone's safe.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
he's like, look me in the eye. And he can tell just by looking in your eyes if you have something on you or not. And we know each other. So we know what is normal and what's not. And if that happens, we just take you outside and try to pop it off and try to get you back stable and back to that baseline.
For sure. By the way, Raven, welcome to All Access Network Television. I've seen your little advertisements pop up there, and welcome to the team. Question here. Do y'all have like a specific area or a subject when y'all investigate for evidence like orbs, shadow people, and EVPs? That's a question from one of the people out in the crowd.
Well, shadow people for me, because that's what I see. Orbs, we definitely are doing a lot to try to study them better because of all the different variants of what they could be. But definitely a lot of work with shadow people, shadows, and everything like that. And it's not that we even go in to find it. It's really they find us. So that definitely makes it different.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm still developing my eye to see the shadows. Like Aaron, it comes very easily and he's like, it's right there. And you pick up an SLS and shine it. It's like, yep, it is right there. Whereas I have more of a difficult time seeing the shadows, but I've been working more on my mediumship. So I'm receiving the information. Like I just know what they're trying to say or if somebody is there.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like last night, they had security cameras set up at this location because it is an active business. And we watched those and just trying to depict, is that dust? Is that an orb? We did a lot of that last night, which was interesting. That is not something that we normally focus on too much. So we did a lot of that. Otherwise, I like kind of tripwires. I like music boxes. I like things that will flash up that I can say, okay, there you are. Perfect. That's kind of what I go to is the Ovulus and, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We have another question here. With Rhythm, Roots, and Faith, can you share your recent experience with helping with spirits crossover? Have you?
Cassie.
Yeah.
This goes back to our time at Indiana State. It was part of, we all kind of just looked at each other and said, what just happened? Because it was just a profound night. Do you want to get into it more, Aaron?
Yeah, I'd like to hear a little more about it. Go for it.
There was a special attachment that Anne had. She had previously gone to Indiana the year before, and this thing has been attached to her for a year, but it's not anything that it needed to get dealt with. It was just, it was very much so, it just wanted to let her know he was there.
Okay.
And for an entire year, she could not figure it out. So we had said, well, when we go to Indiana State, let's go to that room. Let's figure it out. Here it was someone that was asking for help, not a demonic attachment. It wasn't anything of the sort. It was literally someone stuck that never crossed. But he actually did cross that night.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. When I was there a year ago, I had a very bad experience where I was having terrible chest pains. Ovulus and Spirit Box said heart attack. Like heart attack came up like bam, 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 bam on two different pieces of equipment. And I'm like, not happening. And I actually booked out of there and I never looked back. I never went back in. So when the team came with me this year, they were like, nope, we are going back into that room. We are going to find out what's happening. And I was scared. I'm like, is that heart attack? What if they were trying to kill me? Like, I was not really looking forward to going back in that room. But once we got in there and we started communicating, the things that were coming through and the messages that myself and my teammates were getting, it was like, okay, he just passed away from that. He was trying to make me feel that. And that was part of the mediumship, that I was picking up on how he was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That he was trying to hurt me. So it was just him trying to get my attention for the past year instead of actually doing harm to me, which I thought in the beginning. So once we were able to talk to him and tell him, you know, it's okay to cross, it's okay to be scared, but, you know, you got to go where you're supposed to go. He actually did cross, and you could just feel everything in the room get lighter. It was really, everybody was in tears. It was really a emotional, profound experience.
And even after that, we're like, well, I wonder if we're going to see a shooting star. And as we looked up, it actually really did honestly happen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He had also sent a message back that he was going to be a protector of Anne for helping him out.
That's cool. That's definitely cool. Do you stay in contact with him, Ann?
I do feel him around me, but, you know, it's nothing that I'm scared of, but I do feel an extra presence here. Yeah.
Do either one of you have any particular guardians or guides that you know of, and who are they?
Archangel Michael.
How about you, Ann?
I spent a lot of time studying mediumship, and that was actually one of the hardest things for me, was to find my guides. I've only been successful in meeting one of my guides. It is my main one, and her name is Akasha. And pretty much every investigation, Akasha comes up on the Ovilus. You know, so I mean, I've seen her, I know what she looks like, and I know she's always there.
So she has made her presence known.
She has. Yep.
And you said, Aaron, you said Michael. Have you actually seen Michael in front of you before?
Not in front of me. It's usually in dreams and just all, well, yeah, dreams, intuition. It's been an amazing road. But yeah.
I know the first time I seen Michael, it was really interesting because I seen his energy force right in front of me. He was standing there with his shield and sword, and he actually handed them to me when I was sitting there. He says, "You're going to need these for some of the things that we've experienced or would experience upon." So yes, Michael is also one of mine, and he's a very interesting person to have as a guide and a protector. When I was going through my Menaki rites, one of my other guides that appeared was Anubis. So I go back with the Egyptians and the magic with them and all that stuff. And he was showing me things to build with the crystals and how to put the crystals together and use them. And that has actually come in very handy because, like you, when you had the one you were crossing over, we had a young child the night that I experienced him cross over one of the spirits that was with him. We had to cross him over in a way that Anubis showed me how to do it. And that was a really rough night to see a 12-year-old little boy pick up a riding lawnmower that was like 3 blades wide. And he would pick it up the front end of it and was bouncing it like a basketball. The front end of the lawnmower up and down on the concrete like it was nothing that night. So Anubis is the one that showed me how to take care of that situation when it came up. Hello, Rick.
Our class, or our team, actually took classes on the archangels and how to call on them to help us. And we did that with Cassie at Rhythm, Roots, and Faith. So that was really helpful too, that we could know who we could call in when it came to certain things going on. Like, okay, this happened, we should maybe call on this angel. So we've been working with that a little bit too.
says these angelic and ancient guides have such powerful and ancestral energy attached to them. It seems to me that they will show themselves in a way we can individually receive them. And that is true. I do agree with that 100%.
Yep.
I've got several guides and guardians that is among me, and one of them is my wolf animal guide that I experienced a long time ago, and he's been with me ever since. When we ran across the class, everyone had a different experience with things. Yep. Have you guys had a chance to go through your Akashic records by chance? Do you know what that is?
I have not.
No.
Does that make you curious to who else you might find in your past?
I would be curious. We just never dug into that yet.
Mm-hmm. I've always been interested in that. Like, I've dug into a little bit of my past lives, but I've only been able to figure out one of them. You know, but yeah, I would definitely like to know who's around me and the history of maybe the other lives that I've had, or, you know, why I am who I am today.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's definitely interesting because, like I said, the one that's my Reiki master, she showed me how to do that and get into my Akashic records and stuff when I need it. And it's an experience. It's unreal, and it does feel like you're standing right there when it happens. It's totally different from anything just standing there, but that is an experience in itself for sure. Now, with attachments, you guys mentioned that attachments. Is there any specific way you guys get rid of your attachments? Because I know everybody does them different.
I mean, with mine, I just end up tangling with them for months and months and months. And then they just, I don't know. It's very hard to explain, but the more fear they try to put into it and the more of a presence they try to make themselves is the longer it's going to take to get rid of it. Because it definitely just doesn't go away. And I've never had luck with the Palo Santos or any of that stuff. I just somehow naturally takes 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, sometimes longer, and it just kind of goes away.
See, that's one thing Anubis showed me how to do with crystals, get rid of those attachments. Let's see if I can pull up one of the pictures here real quick that I've got here.
Our co-founder, Mike, he's big into crystals. So yeah, he works with that quite a bit.
See if I can find that image here real quick and bring one up here. If I still got it on my hard drive. Yeah, I definitely use crystals for working with attachments. That's for sure. I don't know if I got it sitting here or not. See if I can find it on my other one here real quick. I don't have it on this one right now. I know I got it on my regular StreamYard on my page, but since I'm using the all access one tonight,
yeah,
I don't have it loaded onto this one. I can't find it right now. I'll have to send that picture to you guys later. But me and her actually was doing Reiki and doing energy work. And I was doing the energy work over the top of one of our teammates. And she did not, you could see in the picture, she never had an SLS. Me and the Reiki master had SLS stick figures in us. And she had nothing. But as you see in the picture, she's holding up a tuning fork. And behind the tuning fork, you can see what we took out of her. But we got it out of there. We're forcing it with energy and
nice.
Reiki. And you can actually see it in the thing. I'll have to send that picture to you guys later. I've definitely shown it on some shows before, for sure. But But yeah, that's why I said Reiki is always a good thing to have around and have somebody on the team that definitely deals with that. I've also noticed the higher your energy level is, the less likely you are to get an attachment. Because it seems like it gets a hold of the people that has the less energy and it pulls them down a lot faster, and it starts working on them in totally different ways. But the higher energy level that I've experienced, it doesn't seem to want to attach to you at all. So that's always a good thing to know, is if you keep that energy high. Is there any favorite equipment you guys like using?
I love the SLS camera. I have like 5 different kinds of them because it always substantiates what I can see, and then everybody else can see it too. But then you get, well, this is picking up that, that's picking up this is doing that. So by having 4 or 5 different cameras, if it's all picking up the same thing, I don't know, that does help in seeing
Right.
things.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ann?
I think probably the tripwire. There's just something, I don't want to say magical, but there's something so cool when a tripwire just goes poof, and that really makes it exciting.
Yeah, tripwires are definitely really interesting. I've seen them used a lot. One other things that I like using a lot here lately, and I don't have one, I really need to get one, is the dead man bell. I find that really interesting, having one of those around, because I know a few teams that actually has that in their arsenal, and it's pretty cool to
Yeah,
have.
we're pretty equipment heavy. We do have a couple dead bells, and we've also been teetering with the Who's Your Daddy bell.
Yep.
It's a little bit cheaper. It's made by a different company. So we've been doing kind of a comparison to see, do we go more dead bells or do we go with these other ones? So that's what we've been working on.
Let's see here. Yes, cutting the toxic cords. Yes, I've done that with. I do that with selenite. I'll cut the cords for when we get done with an investigation. I'll take a selenite wand and cut all the toxic cords and attachments, anything we got that we picked up with the selenite. I do that before we leave with certain spots. My favorite is, yep, selenite, yep. What about grounding rods? I have been using them in a certain times, and I like them. You mean dowsing rods? Yeah. Do you guys use dowsing rods?
We have them, but I don't personally use them, no. But I've had other team members use them and have talked about it.
Yeah, I kind of like dowsing rods. They're interesting to use, especially on investigations. We've got this other one here. The last time I investigated with Phantasm, I was so full of energy, which really surprised me. The energy of the building and those two care of the building was so, yep. So, but yeah. Is there any locations on your bucket list that you'd really like to go to?
Oh, a lot of them. Brushy Mountain in Tennessee, Waverly Hills in Kentucky. We want to go to the Rhodes Hotel and Ohio State Penitentiary.
Oh, those are all pretty good ones as well.
So hopefully that'll be next year's lineup.
That's awesome. That'll definitely be an interesting experience here. Let's see. So I built a spirit box with an amp and I hooked my SBY up and fixed it. And then we got Lisa. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. Is there any piece of equipment that you guys would like to have that you don't have?
Yeah. Because even that no matter how much you buy or how many of them you have, there's always more, there's always better. It updates, it changes really fast. It's really hard to stay on top of all that. Because by the time I think I have everything, it's like, ooh, no.
Something new comes up for sure.
And like Ann said, we are equipment heavy. I mean, we usually tow the trailer just to hold equipment. Make it's like a mobile command center on top of that. So it really does hold a lot of stuff, and we just keep putting more and more stuff in it. And it
Mhm.
never seems like I still have enough.
Yeah, there's some things I'd like to have. I like to have that new SLS out that's about $3,000, but it's going to be on my wish list for a little while for sure.
My
Pam,
last SLS was a 3D XLS. I
yeah,
definitely love that too.
yeah, that's like I said, it's about $3,000. The last one that I seen, it was pretty cool. Um, Pam here, she was one of the guests at the church that I was at with Eternal Paranormal a couple weeks ago, and I actually took the attachment away from her that she had. I hope all's been going well with you, Pam, since that day. So,
She was actually in our public event at Broadhead not too long ago, too.
yeah, I actually got to meet her for the first time there at the Sanctum of Souls with Eternal Paranormal that night. But
Perfect.
so yeah, she's a really nice lady. I'm drooling over the Oculus. I stick to my eyes. And yes, thanks. Well, I'm glad things are going well. I'm definitely glad that's going on. And yeah, I walked up to her and helped her out right before she left. And she said it felt like I drained the energy right out of her when I took that attachment away from her. So, but yeah, she's a really nice lady. It was nice meeting her that night. I asked Aaron, and so I'll ask you, Ann, because you were off screen there for a second. Any locations on your bucket list that you would like to go to personally?
I think one of my top ones right now is Edinburgh Manor. Like, I'm good friends with Kat, who, helps run tours and stuff there, but I have never been there. I've heard so many great things about it, but that is one that I would really like to go to. And someday Waverly, Waverly Hills is always on my list.
Yeah. Kat Armstrong, right?
Yep.
Yep. I'm friends with Kat and Will.
Yeah,
They're great.
Mhm.
Paranormal Exposure. They'll be on my show here before in the next few weeks. Let's see. We got some other questions popping up here. Where is Eternal Paranormal at? Eternal Paranormal is out of the Quad Cities, not far from me, because I'm in Galesburg, Illinois, and they're up in the Quad City area. And let's see. It says, do you guys ever do an investigations with all the fancy equipment? That's what Laura is asking you guys. Do you guys ever do an investigation with all the fancy equipment?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've used everything. Like, we have the cameras and stuff. We really need to do more with cameras and, documenting as we go throughout the night, because we just live in the moment. So I know we need to do more about that. But yeah, we usually do use a good part of our equipment on most investigations.
That's cool. Pam says, hope to see you all again at Edinburgh. It's amazing. I will definitely head that way eventually. My next stop is Melbourne Manor in a few weeks. Let's see. We got another question. One time with the group, it was awesome going camping around the cemetery. We got more activity in school. All need to check it out. And okay, cool. Definitely for sure.
I've heard of it, Lisa. I've had friends that have been there.
I do have friends up in the Ohio area. Like I said, Pam is up there, and she's from Serene Divine. She used to have a show, and I'm friends with her. And definitely itching to go up there for an investigation here. Hopefully before the end of the year with her. We'll have to see.
Yeah. And then I see Rawside Paranormal says, do we ever do an investigation without all the fancy equipment on the flip side of that?
Oh, I missed that one. Okay.
We do.
So,
yep. Probably the last time was Indiana State, where we really didn't use anything. We used Spirit Talker, We don't really get into the apps very much, but Spirit Talker was on that night. So we used that, but we didn't really use much else that night.
Not much more than a flashlight.
Yeah.
What is the strangest thing either one of you have seen since you've been in the paranormal field that you can't really explain but leaves you in doubt?
Most things. Demons are the hardest one for me because they're the hardest to explain. It's the hardest to prove. So even if you did, those for me are the hardest.
I think for me, it's getting my head wrapped around elementals, like dealing with something that has never been human before, that has been around for so long, that I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do that.
Or will they place, because it's not actually a living thing, but it's not actually demonic either.
Right.
So I know Aaron was at Broadhead. Were you at Broadhead too, Ann?
I was, yep.
Did you feel the elemental that was around there?
Every once in a while, I feel that one in the corner, but mainly the one on the third floor, I feel most often.
Third floor for me too on that one.
Yeah, when I first went to Broadhead Manor for the first time and I put my foot out on the ground, I was like, I know he's here, and it took me a few seconds to get adjusted. But I definitely knew he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Says, what cemeteries do you recommend? You guys got any favorite cemeteries you guys like to go to?
I mean, we've been to some of them, but probably shouldn't.
I personally don't investigate cemeteries too often. I live in a small town in Wisconsin that has Dartford Cemetery that is pretty haunted, or so they say. And, there has been documentaries and stuff done on that. But I don't spend too much time in the cemeteries.
I actually like Springdale Cemetery up in Peoria, Illinois. That's where we've seen Mildred Hallmark, and the Witches Circle is up there as well. And I've been to them several times, and we've always got activity out of both locations.
I would love to go to Bachelor's Grove. For me, it's just kind of the beauty of it and the beauty of the stones, where I'm not really looking for anything residual or anyone hanging out. It's just, the place itself for me.
If I had to recommend one, it would be Riverside Cemetery in Appleton. That had a lot of energy and activity to it. Even during the day, it was pretty off the charts.
It says, did you find while on the investigation, did you collect better or more data? Which one was you talking about, Laura? Which investigation? Because I missed something here.
I'm guessing maybe the Indiana State, where we didn't use equipment. That's where my thought is going with it.
Okay. So did you collect better or more data with or without the equipment?
That time without. For sure on that one.
I think just being in the moment and having that communication instead of waiting for something to flash or something to touch a REM pod. I think the communication was definitely better.
Deeper.
You're able to focus on that.
That's cool. If I was a spirit, the last place I'd hang out is a cemetery. Mm-hmm. There's mixed things about cemeteries coming up nowadays.
Yeah.
So, and then that's the one Laura asked without the equipment. Okay. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, that last question, I kind of got confused when she answered it because she reversed it with and without, and I didn't realize it was the same, different answer or a different question. Okay, so we're at the top of the hour. We got about 5 minutes left. What is one thing you'd like to have changed in the paranormal field?
Oh, egos. Without a doubt, egos.
More
Why?
paranormal unity.
Yeah. Just let everyone do things how they want to do them. And if you don't agree with it, walk away. Do your own thing. But don't condemn people for doing things their way. There's no right or wrong when it comes to paranormal.
Oh, yeah, I agree, because none of us are experts in the field. I mean, we all got the data and we all got stuff that what works for me, what works for you guys. I mean, everybody's different, and that's how things are. And that is actually the number one answer, is what you guys said for sure. 'Cause I ask it on every show here lately. It says, Lisa says, I like you guys already.
Yeah, that is something that we are trying to do more of, is doing more collaborations and just getting out there. We're trying to do more teaching work because everybody does bring something different to the table, whether you are a new investigator or have been around for 20 years. It's just getting to know everybody and learning different ways of doing things. And that's something we've really been focusing on more.
Yeah. Laura from Raw Side Paranormal says, saying, great answer. We are all still learning. And that is true.
Yep.
I always have the most evidence on either TikTok or YouTube, or learning more about YouTube. Do you have a specific platform that you prefer to upload your evidence on? Normally, if I upload evidence, it's normally I'll show it during a show, during a conversation, or it'll be on YouTube, on the YouTube channel I have. What about you guys?
That's something we need to do a little bit better on. We did YouTube for a little bit, but we are more living in the moment. And like I said, we do need to get cameras out more and start capturing what we are seeing. And that's something that is on our goal list. But
Right.
we do have TikTok that's normally, and then Facebook page. So if we do have anything crazy, we always put stuff on there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you a picture from work. I was messing with the guys one day, just being funny. And they couldn't believe that I was doing this, but this is what I did to them at work, just to mess with all of them.
That is amazing.
So they all thought there were strings attached to them until they walked up to them, and none of them's got a string on them at all. But I do that to them once in a while just to mess with the guys at work.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it's always fun. It's always fun to do. But yeah, that's cool. Definitely, for sure. So, can you tell everyone where they can find you at? Because we're at the top of the hour, and where they can find your shows and find your page and everything else.
Yep. So our main things that we stream on or we post on, our main one is Facebook. We do have a Facebook page as well as a Facebook group. It's Phantasm Paranormal. And then we do have a TikTok page that we try to keep that one up to date too. We do have Instagram and YouTube, but those have kind of been on the back burner. Hopefully next year we'll get back to those. But right now, Facebook and TikTok.
That's awesome.
And if you ever want to reach out to us, you can do it via those avenues, or we do have email, which is phantasmparanormalwi@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Well, I'd like to thank you both for coming on the show tonight and talking about your experiences and what you guys do. It was awesome.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We'll definitely have to do it again in the future for sure.
Yes.
So, like I said, definitely go check out these guys on their pages and give them some loving and some exposure. And we'll see them in the future on here again soon.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop them backstage here. Thank you guys again. I'm gonna drop them backstage, and I'm gonna end out the show here real quick.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Yeah, that was Phantasm Paranormal. Definitely go check them out. They're a great team. I actually got to meet them down at Broadhead Manor and they were actually selling books. We didn't get to talk about that at the time. They were selling books, and I happened to pick up a book, and actually I got it sitting right here. It's this book here called Whispers in the Wall. It's by Scott Bowser, and I'm in it along with several other teams, and I happened to pick it up, and I got that book signed for them, and they actually gave me a shirt of their team, and I thank them for that too as well. And thank you everybody tonight for coming on, making some comments, asking questions. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you for stopping in, and definitely be ready for when we go to Melbourne Manor. Keep an eye out for that as well. And we're going to end the show tonight. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and we're out of here.